Good morning and welcome again. I'm reading from the book of Judges, chapter 9, verses 22 to 57. Book of Judges from the Old Testament of the Holy Bible, chapter 9, from verses 22 to 57. And Abimelech had reigned 3 years over Israel. Then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech, that the cruelty done to 70 sons of Jerubbaal might come, and the blood be laid upon Abimelech and his and the brother which slew them, and upon the men of Shechem which aided him in killing of his brethren. And the men of Shechem set liers in wait for him at the top of mountains, and they robbed all that came along that way by them. And it was told to Abimelech. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, came with his brethren and went over to Shechem, and the men of Shechem put their confidence in him. And they went out into the fields and gathered the vineyards and trod the grapes and made merry, and went into the house of their God, did eat and drink, and cursed Abimelech. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, said, Who is Abimelech, and who is Shechem, that we should serve him? Is not he the son of Jerubbaal? And Zebul, his officer, served the men of Hamor, the father of Shechem? For why would we serve him? And would to God this people were under my hand, then would I remove Abimelech. And he said to Abimelech, Increase thine army and come out. And when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal, the son of Ebed, his anger was kindled. And he sent messengers unto Abimelech privily, saying, Behold, Gaal, the son of Ebed, and his brethren, we come to Shechem, and behold, they fortify the city against thee. Now therefore, up by night, thou and the people that is with thee, and lie in wait in the field. And it shall be that in the morning, as soon as the sun is up, thou shalt rise early and set upon the city. And behold, when he and the people that is with him come out against thee, then mayest thou do to them as thou shalt find occasion. And Abimelech rose up, and all the people that were with him by night, and that laid wait against Shechem in 4 companies. And Gaal, the son of Ebed, went out and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And Abimelech rose up, and the people that were with him from lying in wait. And when Gaal saw the people, he said to Zebul, Behold, there come people down from the top of the mountains. And Zebul said unto him, Thou seest the shadow of the mountains as if they were men. And Gaal spoke again and said, See, there be people come down by the middle of the land, and another company come along by the plain of Mahanaim. Then said Zebul unto him, Where is now thy mouth, wherewithal thou hast said, Who is Abimelech, that we should serve him? Is not this people that thou despised? Go out, I pray now, and fight with them. And Gaal went out before the men of Shechem and fought with Abimelech. And Abimelech chased him, and he fled before him, and many were overthrown and wounded, even unto the entering of the gate. And Abimelech dwelt at Arumah, and Zebul thrust out Gaal and his brethren, that they should not dwell in Shechem. And it came to pass on the morning that the people went out into the field, and they told Abimelech. And he took the people, divided them into 3 companies, and laid wait in the field, and looked. Behold, the people were come forth out of the city, and he rose up against them, and smote them. And Abimelech and the company that was with him rushed forward, stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And the 2 other companies ran upon all the people that were in the fields, and slew them. And Abimelech fought against the city all that day. And he took the city, and slew the people that was therein, and went down the city, and sowed it with salt. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into a hold into the house of the god Berith. And it was told Abimelech that all the men of the tower of Shechem were gathered together. And Abimelech got him upon the Mount Salmon, and he and his people that were nigh with him. And he took an axe in his hand, cut down a bough from the tree, took it, laid it on his shoulder, and said unto the people that were with him, What ye have seen me do, make haste, and do as I have done. Now all the people cut down every man his bow, and followed Abimelech, and put them to hold, and set to the hold to fire upon them, so that the men of the tower of Shechem died also, about 1,000 men and women. Then went Abimelech to Thebas, and encamped against Thebas, and took it. And there was a strong tower within the city, and thither filled all the men and women, and all they were of the city, and shut it to them, and get them up to the top of the tower. And Abimelech came into the tower, and fought against it, and went hard unto the door of the tower, to burn it down with fire. And a certain woman cast a piece of millstone upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull. Then he called hastily unto the young man his armor bearer, and said unto him, Draw thy sword and slay me. The men say not of me, A woman slew him. And the young man thrust him through, and he died. And when the men of Israel saw that Abimelech was dead, they departed up every man unto his place. Thus God rendered the wickedness of Abimelech, which he did unto his father, in slaying his 70 brethren. And all the evil of the men of Shechem did God render upon their heads, and upon them that came the curse of Jotham, the son of Zerubbabel.